Good morning, everybody. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. We put new gutters on our house recently, and I said, well, we'll see how it is. It's going to rain. It's rained every day this year. It's not missed. We figured it out. My brother-in-law keeps a calendar on how much it rains because he's a farmer. And this year it's missed about 8 days. So we had 8 days of no rain this whole year. Well, believe it or not, this is the third day, no rain, because I put gutters on. I want to see if they leak. No, we had some rain yesterday. I'm just teasing with you guys. And we only had 9 leaks. So I guess I need to relook at that. Today it's really humid. It's hot. It's 8:30 in the morning, 8:23 in the morning. It is so hot outside here in the Philippines. It's unbearable heat. Is it hotter than where I came from in Florida? No, it is not. But it's a beautiful day here in the Philippines. Anyway, how about if you have a student going to school or college? How do you handle that and cost factors? And what if a student really wants to go to college and he can't really find the money to go to college? He can't buy the books. He can't have transportation. He can't have food. Now remember, colleges are like it is anywhere else in the world. People have to travel from all over just to go to college. It's not like there's a college right around the corner like a 7-Eleven. Here in the province, it's that way. There's a couple colleges, but depending on what you want to do as far as a job, you need to go to college, right? So today we're going to talk about this. Going to school, how much does it cost really to go to college here in the Philippines? It varies. It depends on what you're going to be. For example, if you're going to nursing, there's 3 or 4 different programs you can go. And there's places, there's Mountain View College. It really is expertise in nursing. They also have expertise in law degrees. There's actually CMU University here that does the same. Their nursing program's great, but Mountain View is better. Most people go Mountain View, easily can find a job in the United States or anywhere in the world, and which is really nice. It makes it a great place, that people can go to school. Now, going to school, it costs anywhere from $100 to $300 to $400 to get their books and everything like that. It just depends. Sometimes you get away with $100. Sometimes you get away with $200. It's like anywhere else going to college. Same price as books here as is anywhere else in the world. Believe it or not, it's the same. Books are not cheap here. But now a lot of them are doing online. They have what they call online books, and so they're learning from online books. I like the paper. I'm a paper kind of guy. I'm a newspaper kind of guy. I really miss the newspaper. I enjoy the newspaper. We're going to school. So then the room and board is an issue. They have 14,000 students going to this particular college at CMU. And rooms that are available are anywhere 1,000 rooms. So how does 14,000 kids get to 1,000 rooms? They can't. So they have what they call dorms. They have big dorms where there's 10, 15, 20 people in a dorm, 5 people in a dorm, and they all just basically sleep on top of each other. Food can be an issue. And transportation can be an issue. So going to college is quite a chore here in the Philippines. Then you have what's called weekly or monthly maintenance. They have to eat. You're not going to let your child go to college and not eat. A lot of parents, I have to tell you, really, the kids drop out of school, and they drop out of school early because they can't afford it. They drop out and go a year, 2, 3 years later to college because they're really adamant about getting that degree, and because they try to work a job, save money so they can go to college. It it took a guy 9 years, 9 years. He was really adamant about going to college. It took him 9 years to finish his degree because he didn't have any money. His mother and father were poor, poor dirt farmers. Dirt floor in a house, NEPA hut, one big room. They all slept on the floor or wherever, and they had some type of furniture that they made out of just old wood they found in the creek beds and stuff. So he said it took him 9 years. The guy did a sermon on it. 9 years to finish college. And he was really angry about it. He said, we have to change what we're doing here. 9 years, that just woke me up. I know of 2 people that I know personally since I've been here in the Philippines. They started college 7 years ago. They're still in college, and it's a 4-year degree. And what it is, they just don't have that $5 to $6 a day to maintain themselves and feed themselves and transportation. So Ruth and I have helped a few along and sponsored a few along to help them get past that part so they can actually get a degree. And that's something that's really important. So what do they do? What's the expectations? What if they get out of college? Where do they go? What kind of jobs are they going to get, right? And that was a big question that I said when I first came here. Well, okay, say you graduate with honors. I have impeccable. I have scholarship. I did everything right. Go get a job. Where's the job going to be? Is it going to be, what's it going to be? Is it civil engineer? There's more civil engineers here than there is gas stations. And more civil engineers than I've ever seen before in my life. And not all of them's going to get a job. Most of them go back and being waitress. Most of them go back being a farmer. Most of them go back being in rice fields. A few select get a job, and a few select get jobs themselves. Some become teachers. Some become something completely different, just like it is anywhere else in the world. One time I was in the U.S. and in Florida, and I was eating lunch, and I said, I know you from somewhere. I saw you. Did I see you this last week? He said, yeah, you did. I'm an attorney. I said, what are you doing here working at a bar and serving food? He said, honestly, I make more money doing this. I make $200-300 a day, and I make $50 a day, $100 a day being an attorney. And I have $150,000 in loans. So that's what happens. We all know, we know what happens with that. So here in the Philippines, it's really hard for them. Travel is a problem, getting from point A to point B. Rooms and board and housing. Housing is really a stickler for a lot of them, meaning that we have 4 nieces. And the reason I know this, I have 4 nieces in college right now, and every one of them has had an issue with being boarded, place to stay, place to sleep. They finally found rooms. They just pile it in top of someone else's room, and they pay a nominal fee. But still, even if you pay $1 to $2, $3 a day with income of only getting $10 a week, and you still have to eat and you still have to transport back and forth. So how do you do that, right? Because parents don't have a lot of money. The parents are giving them $10, $20 a week, and it costs a little bit more than that for them to kind of get around and do the thing. And if they have a project in college or something they need to do, that just throws the budget all out of whack. So here it's really a big struggle for someone to go to college here. And that's the reason it does take them quite a few years to finish it. They'll quit and go work a job, then come back and go to college. We know a guy that sells he sells food. He sells snack, and that's what he does. So he'll quit school. He'll go sell snack to me and the family and everybody that he knows, and we buy as much as we can. As much money as I have in my pocket, I'll spend it all in snack, whether I eat the snack or not. We come home, we'll give it away, and that's what we've done because he's really trying to do the very best. He's wanting to be a attorney, and he's out every day riding his motorcycle, peddling snacks so he can do that. And I got to give him credit. He comes here when he can, and when he can. He's got a big route now, as he says, and he's got a lot of customers now. So, but he's made a business out of it. He said, I really struggled because he has to pay for the snack up front. It's not like it's on consignment. And then he gets his money back in a little more peso. And it's not like he sells it for 50 peso profit. He gets like 5, 10, 15 peso per sale. So it really matters because you can buy that stuff in town, right? So, so what's next? What kind of jobs are going to get? I just talked about that. Nurses, the medical field of nurses is the most popular one. Everybody's going into the medical field because everybody here In the Philippines, they want to be a doctor or a nurse or a med tech or X-ray or something. So that's a really big field that's really opened up a lot here. Now, a lot of the medical side can easily get jobs outside the country. The other jobs, civil engineers, are not so, because for them to pass the board exam in the other countries, it's really hard for them to do that. But as far as nursing, they above board on nursing, and they can pretty well get a job anywhere in the world. That's the reason nursing field itself. We have two of the nieces that's want to become a nurse. The other is agriculture, and the other one is agriculture. Both of them are agriculture. Agriculture is farming, soil. They're engineers. They'll be agriculture engineers. And the doctors themselves, there's quite a few guys going to college to become a doctor. And a great field to get into, but they're finding themselves kind of not being able to pass the board exams in the countries. So they pretty well stick around here, and they need more doctors here because a lot of them have left. And even the doctor that I saw recently was probably 25 years old, and he's already a doctor, and he'd been practicing for about a year. So it's their internships they don't their internships not that long. So when they go to the intern, um, they cut the time short. The requirements may be the same as it is in the U.S., but they cut it short. Where U.S. they require a little bit more work involved in it, and that's what he said. And he said that's where I fell short. He wanted to go to U.S., excuse me, and he was not able to do that because the requirements are a little bit more stiffer for him. But the girls are doing well in college, and they're short of money. They're just short of money, and of course the family, when you have 4, 5, 6 kids, 7 kids, and you have to maintain a lifestyle, that's what happens, and they're going to college, and that's the hardest thing in the world. So Ruth and I help when we can, but it's like anything else. You can only help so many. And not only that, it's like the colleges themselves are great and fantastic, but it is a chore getting to them. It is a challenge because the buses don't always run on time, and the buses can be infrequent. So you can maybe get there on time in the morning if you go down early in the morning, like an hour or two before, and get to college, fine. Getting home is a problem. So their days end up being anywhere 10, 12, 14 hours a day just going to college. Ours day is 12 hours, 13 hours a day just going to high school or junior high. And 13 hours a day on the average is well. She leaves the house at 6:15 in the morning, and she arrives home at 7:15. She has arrived home at 7:30. School is out at 5. She goes from 8 till 5, believe it or not, every day. Well, 3 days a week right now. And the other 2 days are studying maybe some online exams, quizzes, quick tests, things like that they kind of keep them busy. But the days they're at school, she will be there 13 hours a day or more. Sometimes it's 14. So time she gets home, has her dinner, cleans up, takes a shower, we eat. I'm eating at 8 o'clock at night, which is a no-no, but I'm not going to eat without my babies, all my family together. And it creates a hassle for not only her, but for us, so because we're waiting, we're hungry. And then she gets home, it's time for her to go to bed, because I make her go to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock. And the reason for that is because so she can get her sleep. Because it's the most important thing. Learn that raising kids before. Sleep is the most important thing. Because if you let them, they'll stay up 10, 11, 12 o'clock, and then they have to get up at 4:30 or 5 in the morning to catch the bus at 6 or 6:15. That bus gets in here sometimes early. I mean, it's door-to-door service I pay for. And it costs me about $60 to $70 a month for door-to-door service, 3, 4 days a week. So 3 days a week, sometimes 4, but really 3 days a week on the average. But so it's a challenge for the kids. Now, if you're in college, it's the same thing. I was talking to Bebe, my niece, and she said, "Daddy Tom, I'm tired. I'm glad we finally got a place there in college." But she says, "I'm tired because they're putting so much on us all the time. It's about accountability, and the teachers. It's known to be highly stressed, and the colleges are highly stressed, and so there's more interaction for people to uh, fail because they push so hard at these colleges, but they do it in a way that is maybe not as beneficial as you think it is." And I said, "Well, that what you're learning now, even though it's they're teaching our stuff in high school, that is college level stuff, and that she will never ever use what she's using. There's no way, even if she's going to be a nurse or even whatever, the things that she's learning." But I question that, but that's okay. I'm not a teacher, but I have raised 5 kids, so I understand how that is. So we as adults, things change all the time, but I just feel sorry for the students and expectations, what kind of jobs they're going to get. And it's really kind of hard to say, what kind of job would you get? You graduate high school with honors, or you graduate and you graduate college, and you say you're going to be civil engineer, a nurse, lawyer, business administrator, business, whatever you're going to do, and you're done, or medical technician, or computers, or IT, you graduate there, where do you go? There is, when you go on a job board here, there's thousands and thousands of jobs, but they tend not to go anywhere. And I even did research on that. And a couple of the students did graduate, and they're trying to find a job. So they couldn't find a job, so they're working at a call center. And a call center basically answer phones from people that, "Hey, my Dish network's not working here in the United States. What can I do to fix it?" They're working for Dish, AT&T. And they're telling me, and one's working for United Insurance Company as claims. So you find yourself, and they're maxed out about 24,000 a month, which is $400-500. So they're maxed out. They never make any more than that. And that's what they were telling me. "Daddy Tom, we'll never make any more money than we have now. We'll never make, we're peaked at 27 years old. And one's 27, one's 25. And they're peaked out at that money. So what do they do?" And that's the thing. There's just the opportunities are nil to none. So if you peaked out at 25 years old and you're making $400-500 a month, what do? Have children? Maybe. Maybe the husband can make 20-25. All right, so that's 50,000. You live quite comfortably for that. I mean, a lot of Americans come here with $1,000 a month, but that's if it's sustainable and working and things like that. But a child or two, a car, a house, it's American dream all over, right? That's what happens. God bless everybody. Thank you so much for always watching videos, and thank you for coming on Tom and Ruth podcast.